Hey everybody, I'm Philip Gribben. If you don't know me, I'm not too sure why you're watching this video, but I'm glad you are. I'm going to do something that I've never done before. This is literally going to be the first time I've ever done a video remotely like this, and specifically like this. I'm going to do an unboxing video. I got a wonderful large parcel in the mail today that I've been waiting for a couple of weeks now, and I am super excited, and it is taking me a very large level of restraint and self-control to not open this without making this video to share with everybody, so you can see just how excited I am and how cool I hope and think this is going to be. First, a little bit of a backstory. I have been collecting trading cards since I was a kid, specifically the Marvel Universe trading cards for the most part. As I got older, I bought a bunch of those sets on eBay and stuff like that, but there were a bunch that I've collected over the years. The ones that I've always liked the most were always the Marvel Masterpieces sets, which were less the comic book art and more professional is not really the right word, but higher concept art from larger name artists, usually high quality paintings and stuff like that. The very first set in 1992, the Marvel Masterpieces collection, was done entirely by an artist called Joe Jusko. As a child, I of course had no idea who he was, but over the years I did come to recognize that, hey, all of these cards were done by the same guy. About 8 years ago, I had a chance to meet him at one of the conventions that I go to, and he was gracious enough to sign a bunch of those cards for me, and they've been kind of one of my favorite possessions for a very long time. There's going to be some awful glare there. I do apologize. As I said, this is my first time doing anything like this, but what's cool is I have this entire set, and every single one of these cards is signed, and generally speaking, I have these on proud display. It's just a matter of time before they end up on the display in my little man cave type room here. Anyways, recently Joe Jusko returned to the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo in April of this year, where I brought him a few more cards to get signed that I'd collected over the years that were from promo versions of that set, as well as the 1993 Marvel Masterpieces set. He didn't do all of those, but he did do about 16 of those cards. And again, he was very gracious to sign all of those for me, as well as he did the 2016 Marvel Masterpieces set, which the cards themselves are incredibly hard to get a hold of without spending just an insane amount of money that I just can't justify. But they collected them in this absolutely beautiful book that breaks them all down, talks about all the cards, goes over some sketches, and again, Joe Jusko signed the inside for me here. Got to be one of the nicest guys I've met, and I've been going to conventions for years and met some very great and very nice people, but Joe Jusko was just absolutely amazing to me. I have so much glare on the top of my head here. If I do ever do this again, I'm definitely going to have to do something a little bit different here with the lighting. This is just kind of a spur of the moment type thing that I just decided to do when I got home and got the package today. Anyways, so I only ever really collected the Marvel cards. I never really looked into him any further. I've never really followed a lot of artists specifically. I see stuff, I'm like, oh hey, that's cool, I like that, whatever. After meeting Joe this past April, I kind of started doing a little bit more research into his career and things that he's done and artwork that he's done, and very quickly started to realize that his art style and the stuff that he has done and is most known for is just right up my alley. High fantasy artwork, your Dungeons and Dragons type stuff, swords and sorcery, barbarians and all that kind of stuff. He's done tons of work over the years for Marvel. He's done some work for DC. Those cards always make me, it seemed a little bit weird to see him do a DC character when all I've ever really known is Marvel characters. Anyways, so recently I've been kind of looking more into his back catalog of work. I went on eBay, I've been eyeing up some different things, different magazines, different sets and stuff like that, and I finally settled on something, and I bought this this collector's set that I'm really excited to open here with you. Because it is something very different. I don't really have anything like this. Like I said, all of my stuff is your superhero cards and stuff like that. So let's get to it. I'm gonna adjust the camera here. It's gonna be wobbly and janky. Really glad you can't see the setup that I've got going on here, because it's pretty embarrassing. I will do better next time, if there is a next time. I hope there is. I'm already quite enjoying this. So let's get to it. Bear with me here. It shouldn't take too long. I kind of tried to get prepared for this as best as I can, and then this way you don't have to see the glare off of my dome quite so much here. So let's get to this here. One second. Very professional, right? Kitchen scissors. There we go. Okay, don't need those. Give them away. Alrighty, so first off, we have, this is an advertisement for tvmoviecards.com, Midwest's largest non-sport dealers, over 10,000 different TV and movie card items. Cool, so if you are interested in trading cards and stuff like that, you want to find some older stuff, they've got Alf and Twilight Zone and stuff like that. Looks like they've got some cool stuff. Not sponsored, this was just in the package. Alrighty. Let's take a look here. Get rid of that. Oh, check that out. There's another. This is official eBay packing paper, or tissue paper kind of thing. That's fancy. Fancy. Yeah, this looks all to be really well packaged, which I'm pretty happy with. The shipping cost was a little bit high, but it did come with insurance, signature on delivery, and everything like that. So, you know, I have no problems paying a bit of a higher shipping cost with justification. And this does appear to have been packaged really well. Like, there's a bunch of layers here. Oh, and you know, I didn't actually even really expect this to be in a binder. The ad didn't say, the listing didn't say anything about it being in a binder, so cool, bonus. I was just kind of expecting the stack of cards, but there is a bunch of other stuff in here as well. So what we have here, let's maybe turn it around here. You're going to get to see most of this stuff first and better than I am. So the first page here, we have a big blurb about it. What I have purchased here is the 1994-95 Joe Jusko and FPG, the Edgar Rice Burroughs collection, masterpieces in visual literature. So this here is actually a signed card. Sorry for the glare again there, but I feel like I could authenticate this as I now have over 100 of his autographs. Which, yeah, so that's pretty cool there. So what we're looking at, yeah, the Edgar Rice Burroughs collection. He did apparently do 2 full sets of cards of the Edgar Rice Burroughs, Tarzan and similar characters. So let's take a look here. Oh, these, this is in some page protectors. These are really fancy. These are thick page protectors. The card is the most important thing. That's a really nice feeling page protector. Inside here, these are wrappers. There is one wrapper for Series 1 and one wrapper for Series 2. These are in really good condition considering they're from 1994-95, so that's kind of cool. We have a Series 1 and a Series 2 wrapper that the cards would have come in originally. Here we have a bit of a certificate. This whole collection was actually put together pretty fancy, so it kind of breaks down everything that's in here that we're going to get to while flipping through here. It includes the 2 sets of cards, the personally autographed card that we saw, the wrappers, as well as some promo stuff and a poster, and there's apparently a magazine in here as well. And this whole set was put together, and there's only 35 sets put together just like this, and this is number 24. It was authenticated by some guy who I am unfamiliar with. Maybe I'll have to look into that in the future. But pretty cool to have. Of course, who doesn't like limited edition things, you know, exclusive clubs, right? Okay, so first here we have, this is a very nice large promo card. This thing is crisp. This is clean. There is one teeny tiny bend in one of the corners up here, but it's just kind of showing a couple of the cards here, a bigger version of the artwork on one here. And then there is some more artwork on the back with some kind of description of the whole set. It talks about Joe doing some of the Marvel Masterpiece trading cards and some other stuff. So these are FPG Gold. They are printed on a 24-point stock with laminate and UV coating. There was a limited edition of only 1,000 autographed cards. I'm assuming that's the one that's at the front of the binder there. There are some chase cards. I don't know, like usually the holograms or metallic ones. I don't know if those are included in here or not. But yeah, it talks about these cards having Tarzan, John Carter of Mars, and some of Edgar Rice Burroughs' other famous characters. So it's always cool to get the promo cards. I've got a few of those kinds of things from some of my Marvel sets, which are always kind of a neat little addition to the collection. This here looks to be a poster. Yeah, okay, here we go. So probably not going to be able to get all of that in. We'll see. Oh yeah, pretty much all of it. One nice big image there. This poster is also immaculate. Like, there's no dings, there's no nicks, there's no tape, no holes or anything. The only creases are from the actual folds, so that's pretty cool. No, there's nothing on the back of that poster. And then we get into the actual cards. I just don't want to mess this up anymore. I'm going to put this right back in there the way it came. So yeah, then we start getting into the set of cards here. A bunch of nice fantasy art, your big macho Tarzans and stuff like that. A bunch of fantasy fight scenes. There's some ladies there. Definitely your classic fantasy art with a little bit of the booty there. I'm a fan, so that's quite all right with me. Yeah, let's take a little bit of a closer look here. Well, let's grab that one, shall we? Oh, you know what? Those are they said the 24-point cardstock. You probably can't really tell. This is a thick trading card. I've got a bunch of Marvel and superhero various collectible trading cards over the years, and I can only think of a couple sets that ever did anything quite that thick. This feels very nice. These are impressive. None of the Marvel Masterpieces sets are even on cardstock quite like this. I wouldn't have been able to tell you that that's 24 point, but that's besides the point. Anyways, so we have this image here. Sexy lady staring off into the distance where there's some kind of explosion going on. On the back, what's cool is there is always a little blurb that talks about what's going on in this image. So I'm not sure if you can read that there. I'll read it out to you here and see what we see. It is a scene from Tarzan at the Earth's core, and Joe Jusko says, believe it or not, the center of attention is actually the collision between the thip door and the biplane. See, I knew you wouldn't believe me. So he's saying that the center of attention is the crash that's going on over there, but clearly our eyes are going to be drawn to something else, right? But I love those little insights from the artists. The pictures are great, but I always love knowing what it was that they were thinking, what their process was, what they were working on, the development of the image that you're looking at. So all of the cards have more artwork on the back of them. They are more from, you get a lot of the more classic artists. So what we're seeing here, this one for example, the little picture on the back here was actually done by Boris Valhalo. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name. Another one of my absolute favorite fantasy artists. He is one that I knew of as a kid. You have your Frank Frazetta, Neil Adams, a bunch of people who did the old classic Edgar Rice Burroughs illustrations in the old stories in the pulp magazines and stuff. So that's kind of cool to just be able to kind of compare some of the old art to Joe's art here, and just see the evolution of the characters at times. So anyways, we'll keep going here. So this is the full first set here, all very nice looking pieces from what I can see so far. I haven't taken the time to flip through this yet here. First, the checklist here goes up to card 1 through 60. And then it talks about there is the metallic cards, but I am now on to set 2 with no metallic cards, so I might not have those unless maybe they're at the back. We'll see. But it wasn't listed in the index or the collection, so probably not. It would be a nice surprise though, because those are always, you know, a lot more expensive. Yeah, so I'm really happy with the way these look. I still can't get over just how nice these binder pages are. Even the individual card pages are some of the thicker, nicer binder pages I've seen. I mean, Ultra Pro card pages are what all of my card sets are in, and they're nice enough, but these just feel so much nicer. I'm really, really impressed with these as well. This whole package is just so much nicer than I was even expecting, and I was expecting it to be pretty nice. And then, yeah, checklist number 2 runs from 61 to 120. So rather than it being like 2 sets of 60, it all combines into just one set, which is, you know, a little bit different. It's kind of neat. I enjoy that as well. And again, it talks about the metal ones. And again, I'm not seeing them, so I don't think I got the chase cards. I might have to look into finding those at some point. Back here we have a copy of Tough Stuff's Collect magazine from December 1994. It says here it's got Joe Jusko's Tarzan, King of the Card Jungle. This is, oh, okay, so this looks like it's mostly a price guide for collectors, what cards were worth, what sets were worth, kind of thing like that. At the time, circa 1994, Savage Dragon, Warplanes of the World, just all different kinds of stuff. But there is supposedly in here somewhere a article on Joe Jusko. I'm not sure where that is here. Oh, there's a little Stargate, the movie, or TV Stargate, the movie, trading card promo in there, just stuck in the magazine. Not sure if that's supposed to be there or not. Oh yeah, and then there's a little bit of an interview over a couple of pages here with Joe Jusko, so I'm definitely looking forward to reading that. Again, I love the insights and the interviews and stuff like that, and in the last month and a half here since Expo, I've been, you know, digging into things that I could find online on Joe and reading some of his interviews and stuff like that. Okay, I'm having troubles getting that back in there, so I don't want to rush it and wreck it, so I'm going to put that back in there later. And looks like there's one last thing here. This is kind of cool. It's one of the boxes that the packages of cards would have been in the store, and that wasn't even listed in the listing either. So always cool to get extra little bonuses, so that's kind of cool. All in all, a really nice collector's set here. I think I'm probably going to put it in a little bit of a different binder, just because this is just like a little do-a-tag thing. It doesn't really close or open as nicely as one would like, but yeah. Overall, super duper happy. This was a really cool thing to get in the mail today. I can't wait to take a little bit of a closer look at reading through all of these cards and everything like that. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's a little bit rambling and such. Like I said, it's my first time doing anything like this. If you enjoyed it, I would love to hear from you on maybe what I can do better, what you might like to see. I've got a bunch of random stuff and collectibles and things that I can talk about. I am planning another unboxing video, hopefully in a little bit less than a month here, something that I did a Kickstarter for about a year ago that I'm super, super excited about, that I can't wait to get my hands on. So if you'd like to see that, send me a message and let me know. I guess, I wouldn't bother with the subscribe or the bell or ding or anything like that, because I don't know how often I'm going to do this. For now, once I start doing some more stuff, maybe I'll start trying to beg you guys for those subscription buttons and everything like that. But if there's anything that you would like to hear me talk about, trading cards, Marvel cards, comic books, huge Doctor Who fan, and just all my random stuff, I'd like to talk about this one here. Probably this is a pretty important thing to me as well. But yeah, I look forward to hearing from you guys, and we will talk to you later. I do not have any kind of sign off yet, but we will think of something. Have a good night.